Hello friends, it's Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design. Welcome to Throwback Thursday. This is a little series that I do on my blog where I reach into my stash of beautiful older papers, tools, and supplies, and we create something fresh and new together. Today, I just felt in a purple mood. So I pulled out my Prima Lavender. This is a 2017 collection. This is the 6x6 pad, and you probably can't get this anymore, but you may have it in your stash. And even if you don't, I'm going to share some things with you today that you can use with your own favorite papers. And it doesn't have to be purple. I was just in a purple mood. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a card. Surprise, surprise. I know none of you are surprised, but I've prepared a 5x7 top fold card base with a 1/4 inch spine. If you don't know how to do this, you can look on my YouTube channel. I have lots and lots of tutorials where I show how to build the base. And I put a little flap page in. What I worked with was a pile of scraps, and I'll just bring them in and show them to you. I did not cut any fresh papers at all for this project. I just had various piles of scraps that I brought in. So this is one of those use your scraps kind of projects. I had a bunch of the 4x6 cards. I had little pieces left over from other projects. I had some of the tickets left, and you can see how I've then layered them up on this flap page. I put another one here where you can actually write a message, and then I took one of them and turned it into a pocket and then stuck another one in. So this is a fun place. You can put a photo on the front, and you can actually, write on the back. And then on the bottom, I created a pocket using more papers from my scrap pile. And I thought what we would do together is I will show you how to make some of the little pocket inserts that y'all like so much. So I've got a tea bag, and it's got a little purple front on it, and I've got a chocolate, and I've got these honey crystals. I've switched to using honey crystals from using honey sticks because I had one burst in shipment, and that only has to happen to you once, and then you change you change the way you do things. So I've got this scrap. This is literally how I do this, folks. I've got this scrap. This is about almost 2 5/8 inches wide, and I'm just going to put my little tea bag on here. I apologize for the noise in the background. All of a sudden, the town trash yard waste pickup truck decided that today would be a good day to come pick up everybody's leaves. And of course, just as I started filming, they showed up. So it's kind of hilarious. This is kind of how my life goes, y'all. Anyway, so I've scored 2 1/4 inch lines down here. And then I put my tea bag in. And then I'm going to put this back on my scoring tool, and I'm going to do 1, 2 lines here. And I always like to flip it over and score so that when you fold, you always want to fold into the bump. It just works better. And so I've got these here. I can put my tea bag in here. I should have room in here for my honey crystals. This is going to fold over. And I'm going to make a little pencil mark right here, and then I'm going to trim this on my trimmer. But I mean, literally, this is how I do this. And it's different every time depending on what scraps I have on my table. But this is the process. And I like to change it up. I like to put my little gifts in different types of packaging as well. So that makes a really pretty little package. And this goes in here, and this goes behind it, and this folds up. And then to hold it closed, I'm going to take another piece and just do a little belly band. Just like that. It's that easy, folks. This is not rocket science, and I don't measure. I just look for something that will work. And this is a really fun way to dress up a card and turn it into a gift. All right. So this one is going to go in this pocket. And then the chocolate, let's see what I have over here. This looks promising. And again, I'm going to cut this right at about 2.5. So I've grabbed this piece with the butterflies on it, and I'm going to put my chocolate in it this way because it'll fit better in my pocket. And then the butterflies are going the right direction. And then I brought in this scrap, and I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to make a little belly band. So this can slide off, and then they can get to their chocolate treat. And it just dresses it up and makes it look like a gift. And who doesn't like to get a fun little gift? All right, so these both go in the pocket. And there we go. And that is why I put that 1/4-inch spine in there. I also made a bookmark, just with little scraps, stitched around it, stamped a sentiment, and this goes back behind. So this becomes a beautiful little gift now. Let's set this aside, and we're going to build the cover together. So I started with a 5 by 7-inch scrap of this ledger paper. And then I cut a 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 inch scrap of this purple, sort of a medallion motif. And I'm going to glue this over. I'm not going to put any dimensionals or anything between my layers this time because I have a dimensional arrangement to go on the top, and that will do the trick. Then this is a scrap. This, I can't remember the width, but 4 by 6 3/4. I wanted to bring in some of this beautiful rose gold honeycomb pattern. So this is going to go down about 1/4 inch over from the white layer. So we're just building layers and dimension here. Then I went into my 4 by 6, and this is where it starts to get fun. I pulled out this journal card. I don't like this white space down here at the bottom. So I'm going to put glue here. And I brought in a scrap of the rose gold foil, and I'm going to glue this over it and just wrap the ends around the back. This is very simple. And then I was inspired by the circle here in the center, and I was like, you know, I really ought to capitalize on that. So I went into my stash, and I have a new die that my friend Laura at Button Farm Club sent me. This is a Crafter's Companion, and I have a thing for like wreath dies or circle string dies. This is really beautiful. This is called the Entwined Wreath. It's from their Kingfisher collection. And it's just a really beautiful die. It cuts like butter. It really cuts well. I was impressed with that. It's the first time I've used a Crafter's Companion die. So, oops, let me glue this down before I get ahead of myself. And I apologize for my voice. I'm still dealing with the aftermath of that nasty bug that I had earlier in the month. And my voice just hasn't completely recovered yet, but we are definitely on our way. So I've glued this down here, and I want some of this beautiful honeycomb pattern in the rose gold, and I want some of this filigree up here. So this is right here. And then I die cut this twice out of scraps. I die cut it once using sort of a white scrap, and then I die cut it a second time using a scrap of this with the rose gold. And I'm going to put this, and then I put spacers, foam spacers, in between the two layers. And you see, that gives us our dimension. Then I went into my tickets because I had a ton of these left. And I took 2 of these and I layered them together. And I used my tiny attacher. And these are going to go right here in the center of our wreath. I had some chipboard pieces left, so I went in and pulled out this little one that says every day. So it's kind of saying, it's like a card that you're wishing somebody smiles every day. It could be a get well card, it could be a birthday card, but I just thought this looked really pretty together. And this is going to go, I'm going to put a little, I like foam adhesive, but I also like to reinforce it. This is going to go right here. So we have smiles every day. And now we're going to build our floral arrangement. And this is really fun. So these are some pretty purple posies that my buddy Becky in Montana sent me. Thank you, Becky. I hope you're thawed out up there and not freezing to death. And I'm bringing these in, and we're going to create like a pretty little swag to go around one side of our wreath. So I think the way for me to do this is to put a dot of adhesive here. We'll see how this works. I'm going to put a dot of adhesive right here. Whoops. Just hold that for a moment. And you see how I'm swirling it around? I want my other adhesive to go right here, because this way we follow the shape of our pretty wreath. Okay, that looks very nice. And then I'm going to bring in a smaller piece. Well, I'll worry about that. Let me just stay on target here. And then I want another piece, I think like right here. And I'm just gonna put another little bit of hot glue right here, just to fill that out a little bit. Isn't that pretty? I was just in a purple mood, so this was great timing. All right. Then I've got these sweet little, I don't know what kind of flowers they are. They almost look like sweet peas or something. And I'm going to tuck these in with our beaded berries there. And I want to cut this a little shorter. Pretty. I'm going to bring in this beautiful big purple rose and put it right here. And then I've got another little berry sprig that I'm going to tuck in underneath it. There we go. Just hold that there for a second. And then I have these other two shades of purple roses that I'm going to tuck in with our arrangement. And one more little sweet pea in there just to kind of complete the curve. So that was easy. And then I have, hold on, let me put my glue gun in a safe place, because that'll wake you right up. If you bump that with your elbow, you'll know you're alive. These I'm just going to set aside. I'll use them with something else. I think we're good on those. I've got these beautiful crystals that are left over. I think these were Darcel. But whatever you have is, you know, perfect. I'm going to put a big one right there. I'm going to put a medium one right here. And again with these, even though they're adhesive, I like to add a little extra glue on there, because otherwise you can end up they'll fall off, and then that's always disappointing. Pretty. All right. And you may have some of this stuff hanging around in your stash. Pull it out, put it to good use. I've got these beautiful, these are Spellbinder's Essential Gems. They're so beautiful. This is the crystal mix. And it's kind of mix and match colors, which I like. I'm going to put one right here. One of the larger ones. There we go. Right there. And then maybe just a couple of smaller ones on our ticket. These are the sparkliest little gems I think I've ever worked with. They just have the most beautiful shine. Oops. Of course, it doesn't want to cooperate here. There we go. Oops. There, right there. And then maybe one more right here. One of these really tiny ones. There we go. Okay, I'm liking that. And I prepared a bow. This is lilac seam binding ribbon. I'm going to lift my rose. Whoops. Ooh, that is so tricky when it sticks to you like that. Okay, I'm going to put it right here, and then I'm going to come in with my scissors and push it into place. There we go. And this is an iridescent string bow. I'm just going to tuck into that bow cluster. I love the iridescent string because it picks up on whatever the color of your project is. So it goes with literally everything. I buy it by the spool from Really Reasonable Ribbon. Okay. I think that does it. So let's bring in our card. I'm going to lay it down flat so it's a little easier to work with. And there we go. And then I think I had another piece over here that's maybe big enough to cover the back. I'll look for that on my own time, and I'll just cover the back of the card, and that will be that. This is really pretty. There you go, guys. A little quick use your scraps tutorial using Prima Lavender collection and some bits and bobs that I had in my stash. I will put a linked supply list on my blog, and then I will put a link to my blog in the description box below so that if there are any of these things that are still available, which I'm not sure, you can find them. And that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Kathy Clement, Kathy by Design. Go get your craft on. Bye.